Sometimes, your calf can be really tight, causing all kinds of havoc in your life, limiting your range of motion, and then reducing your ability to perform daily activities such as walking or even taking the stairs. So we're going to take care of that right now. What you're going to need is your yoga mat, a wall, blanket, or towel folded up so it has a little bit of height to it, some yoga blocks, and a strap. Hi, I'm Janelle G. Ross, and I'm here to help you with mobility, flexibility, and strength so you can do all the things you love right now and going forward long term without injury. So let's get to it. So for the calves, I want you to think about bringing your weight forward so you really focus on we're going to do one leg at a time, really getting it into the calf. So use the wall with your fingertips just for support. So you're going to place the heel on the ground and then the ball of the foot and your toes on the blanket. So you're at an incline. And then make sure your hips and your chest are facing toward the wall. And then from here, slowly start to lift the other heel to give you leverage, and then drive your hips forward toward the wall, but you're keeping the rest of your torso tall. So I'm driving my heel into the floor, and I'm really feeling this calf stretch. I have tight calves. And just breathing through it. Make sure you're not sticking your butt out because that will take away completely the calf stretch. So you want to push your center of gravity, your pelvis toward the wall, drive the heel down. And just relax the shoulders just so you're working on good, healthy body mechanics. Breathing into this calf stretch. This is my right side. Make sure the toes and the ball of foot are evenly pressing into the blanket. And the blanket is better to use than a block. The block is a little too rigid and hard, and it doesn't have any buoyancy or give. This blanket you can change to different levels as you might need. Okay, go for a few more breaths. Keep driving your hips toward the wall, using your other foot with the toes as leverage. And now slowly release and switch sides. So ball the foot on the blanket, press through the heel, push using the toes, push your hips forward, and then you feel your spine tall, energetically driving that heel. Think about through the floor, not just on the floor. So you have that energy going straight down from your center of gravity all the way down. I think this side might be a little bit tighter, but see what's up for you because everybody is unique and what's going on with their body. Make sure you're breathing. Anytime we're dealing with tension and tightness, we want to make sure we're breathing just slowly and fully, keeping everything working optimal and healthy. And using the fingertips just so you don't have to worry about balance. You have a little bit of support. Go for one more breath. And slowly just back away from the wall. But let's test it. Let's walk around. Let's see how the calves feel just with that one stretch that we started with. Okay, now we're going to check out downward facing dog. So place your palms down and just walk your feet back. So you're in this capital A shape. And what's really important, you want to push your butt up and back. So your butt is the top point of the A. Your palms and your feet are the legs of the A, the capital A. Notice that my heels are not on the ground, and yours might even be higher up. Maybe your knees are a little bent. I want you to try and straighten the legs just a little bit and push. And then let's just get a little hip action as well. So you're going to alternate pushing the heel and the hip down, side to side. And then from this position, come back to center and bend the left knee and push the right heel down. And you got to push your head and chest toward the thighs. So you're adding weight. You happen to shift forward, you're not adding enough weight, and you probably will not feel that calf stretch. So I'm pushing straight arms, really driving that heel into the floor, through the mat, and then release. Good, and pushing, driving that heel into the floor. See if it's different on this side. Pushing up and back. And then slowly bend the knees, walk your feet, place your palms on your hips, and come all the way up to stand. And just shake everything out. Shake out your wrists, your legs, your feet. Okay, we're going to grab pretty much all the props. So you want the blanket, try and keep it as you have it, and have it in the middle of your mat, and just adjust the curve so that you really can get into those calves. Now the blocks are just to support you in this position, so you want them on the highest level. You might need them even higher, but we're trying to do a right angle into a flat back. So I would start by placing your palms on the blocks, shifting your weight forward, and then placing the toes on the blanket, heels down, and shifting your weight forward. Driving the heels into the mat. Now, it's a different sensation than at the wall, so there you don't have as much leverage, but hips over the ankles is going to help, and you can play with shifting your weight forward and shifting your weight back. Usually when you go back, you're going to feel less, but maybe you need a little bit of a break because calves, when they're tight and tense, you feel everything. Okay, shifting forward, breathing into that. Both parts of the calves on both sides, spreading the fingers, keeping your wrists stable, supported. Go for 2 more breaths and really try and keep everything in alignment. So my shoulders are over my wrists. I'm shifting forward a little bit to really get into those calves. And now slowly, let's do one leg at a time. Come back and bring your palms on your hips and shake out your wrists. Okay, now what you can do is you can bring the back of the palms together just to draw the elbows down, just to give your wrists a little bit more of a stretch. Okay, now you're going to take the blocks and let's move the blanket over to the side. Now you can use blocks. I don't recommend a step stool. I tried it in my step stool. Well, it's plastic and it just wasn't supportive enough. It felt like I was going to break it just because it's plastic and it wasn't that sturdy. The best way to do this stretch is actually on the stairs. So we're going to just use the blocks because they do work well, and you want the short end facing toward the wall. Now the wall is just so you don't have to worry about balance. So step on the blocks and your heels are going to be hovering off. Now keep in mind, if you go too close with your toes to the edge, the blocks are just going to flip up because they're not that heavy. So play with that. Keep in mind, you don't want it to flip while you're trying to stretch. You just want to work on kind of distributing your weight. So palms on the wall, fingertips on the wall, draw the heels down and just breathe into the stretch. And try and keep your hips just straight over the ankles. You don't have to worry about going forward because of the position of your feet on the blocks and where the heels are going. And now, slowly lift the heels, come up onto the ball of the feet and the toes. And slowly lower. Keep your bottom ribs in and down so you're not arching your lower back. You just want the weight of your pelvis directly over your ankles. And each time might give you a little bit more range of motion, a little bit more space to release that tension. So you can decide how far you're going to allow it to drop. Let's do one more. Lift the heels and lower the heels. And just keep your chest broad so that you're not compromising your body position, which would take away from your calf stretch. And now slowly just release 1 foot at a time. And since we were kind of on the blocks, it could feel a little bit funny in the arch. So you can just kind of wiggle your feet and walk around. Bring back any life if that was intense, because everybody's different. The calf tightness is no joke. Okay, now you can move the blocks to the side. From here, you can use the wall. We might actually even do the wall, but I want to show you without the wall. So just a little quick anatomy lesson, and you can look over here, is that you have your gastrocnemius, your gastroc, that's closest to the skin, and then underneath your gastroc is your soleus muscle. And why that's important is because the muscle that you see more here, the gastroc, crosses the knee joint. That's why we need to keep the leg straight. But in order to get the soleus, we have to bend the knee because it doesn't cross the knee joint. So here's what we're going to do. Stagger the legs, and you can bring them wider apart for more support. But the important thing is you want to push your butt back and then drive the heel toward the floor. Keep your chest lifted, but you're driving the heel toward the floor. I'm going to bring my foot in a little bit, bending the knee. So if you're not feeling this stretch, we've got a few options. Bring the feet and the legs close together, bend the knees more, drive the heel, or we can try it with a wall. So switch legs, and now, just if you have the mat, make sure you're on the mat or off the mat, not in between, even though it's not that thick. Okay, so from here, bend the knees and push. You can place your palms flat, push into the wall, straight arms, keep the chest broad, and drive the heel. The butt goes back, drive the heel into the floor. Think through the floor to really get that soleus stretch. Okay, now let's just switch just to do a little bit on the other side. We did it on the mat, but let's try it with the floor, with the wall. Driving the heel, pushing into the wall, and your butt going back, your center of gravity, and release. Now, hopefully you really felt that. I felt that a ton, but like I said, let's walk. Everybody is different. And just notice if anything, even the slightest bit is different when you test it, when you walk, because this is not just a one and done. This is ongoing self-care and preservation. Okay, now you're going to need your strap. Come to sit, stretch out the legs, and take the strap around the ball of the foot. So wiggle so you're on your sit bones. In yoga, we call this Dandasana staff pose. But regardless of what the pose is, I really want you to feel the freedom to sit like this, in this position, and working on the posterior chain is going to help with that, specifically the calves. Okay, so hold on to either side of the strap, dorsiflex the feet, and pull. You're pulling with the palms, keeping the chest lifted, and you're pushing energetically with the feet, and you should feel a calf stretch. If you're not feeling enough, you can add more weight. Just make sure that you stay on your sit bones, bringing your torso forward. Make sure you're not rounding. Bring your torso forward, broaden the chest. And sometimes the toes like to do their own little thing. If the toes come toward your head, but you're not feeling a stretch, it's because you're using just your toes. So try and bring the whole top of the foot toward your head, toward your chest. Go for 2 more breaths. And slowly come up and release. And just wiggle the legs in and out. Okay, this last one for the calf, I have to say, is intense. However, I want you to take it with a whole grain of salt, is that just because it's intense does not mean you shouldn't do it. It's going to bring you relief, probably even faster. And you'll probably see by the look on my face that I find this very intense, because it is. So come into quadruped. So we're starting in quadruped. I'll show you front view as well. So you start with your legs straight behind you, knees bent, and you're going to pivot the legs over to the right. So I'm going to keep my left leg over to the right, and take my right shin on top. Now I'm going to pause for a minute to just show you your shin bone, your tibia is all the way down. So you can utilize all those different parts of your shin bone to get into the calf. Like I said, it's not a fun party, but it's essential. So just keep that in mind. Make sure you're breathing. Okay, so legs over to the right, and then take your right shin and bring it as close to the knee joint, the back of the knee joint. Otherwise, you're missing a huge part of the calf, the gastrocnemius. You're missing part of that. And all you're going to do is stay there and hold. This could be plenty of intensity and release. Or you can add some weight and shift back and hold that. Make sure your hips don't turn, so I'm just shifting back, I'm not leaning, and shift forward. Now move again. Whew, that's intense. Okay, and you're just pressing and holding. If you shift back, that's gonna even be more intense. And shift forward. So we're gonna go down the calf. So let me just show you from front view. The leg is over, and you place the knee, so see how close that is, and then you're just gonna move down the calf. Okay, so let's continue on. So going down, shifting and holding, and then shifting forward, moving it down, the right shin down a little bit more, and shifting forward. And you can go at your own pace on this. So the more you hold it, the more release you're gonna get, but you don't wanna rush it. Now, another thing you can do besides going back up the calf, which I do want you to do, is that you can press down and wiggle the right shin forward and back, going up the calf. And that's also gonna get into it maybe a little bit easier, if that's possible, into the calf on the left, all the way behind the knee joint. Okay, now let's do the other side. I'm going to turn for you. Okay, so set up back into quadruped, pivot the knees over to the left, and now take so this is my left over my right. You're trying to get the knees close together, and then you either hold this position, because it could be enough, you're just pressing the weight straight down, or shift back. And you don't even have to shift back that far. Like I mentioned earlier, it really depends on your tolerance, and move again and shift back. And you can play with all angles of your tibia to really get into that calf. And you keep moving that tibia down the right calf, all the way to the end, the bottom. And then let's do again what we did before. So you can just start to shift the shin bone, the left shin bone, forward and back. Lift it up a little bit higher. And try not to skip sections. You really want to go for the whole calf. And you might feel a tender spot, and maybe just stay there and press and hold. Just stay with your breath. Don't hold your breath. It'll make it so much harder, and then you won't be able to release. And again, move a little bit more. Go forward and back, and then up again, forward and back. And then slowly release. Okay, we're gonna finish with downward facing dog. I just want you to just hold the straight leg a little bit, and then we'll walk. So from this position, lift the butt up and back, and then straighten one leg, bend the other, and just push, hold, breathe into that stretch. And then straighten the other leg, push, drive the heel through the floor, breathe into the stretch, and then just alternate, pedaling, trying to get the heel down, but it's not the end goal. You're just trying to get into those areas of the calf, the soleus. And now slowly hop to the middle, place your palms on your hips, come up to stand, and let's take just a little stroll just around your mat. You can go all around your space if you'd like, and just see how it feels to walk. Okay, so you can take any of these poses, these exercises, and you can just do a few. And I have to say the quadruped one is the most strongest, but it does create some benefit in terms of really releasing tension, and you could spend at least 10 to 15 to 20 minutes on it. It really depends on your tolerance. Just make sure that you do something else in tandem with it. Remember to take care of your calves. You can do this as often as you need. Daily would help, but pick a few of these poses, a few of these exercises to do them so you really get those calves to release, because we walk in footwear on cement and it really contributes to our calves being tight. I'm Janelle DeRoss, and I am here to help you with mobility, flexibility, and strength so you can do all the stuff that you're doing now and more for long term later in life without injury. Don't forget to comment, like this video, share this video, and every Thursday I post another video. Now, if you're looking to go deeper with your practice, taking care of your body, I have open spaces for one-on-one. If you'd like to know more, just send me a message. You can just say one-on-one in the comments and I will reach out to you. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next Thursday.